Hello, folks, and welcome back. Shall we continue? If you said no, you can leave. You just, you know, either the X in top right or YouTube in the slightly below top left quadrant. Click either there or there, and you'll move it somewhere else. Unless you're in the playlist, in which case, if you do choose the latter option, I will keep talking at you. So let's continue after I make myself a little dizzy.
You have the eyes of one.
Greetings, friend. Can I get you a mug of anything? What are you doing here? That's a good question. We're a strange lot. Not many Pandaren choose to live on this side of the wall. In short, we're making beer. Not just any beer, though. Beer brewed with the sap of the great Kapari trees. Beer made with sap? That sounds disgusting, I know. But it's not. The amber that these trees produce has amazing healing properties. Mantids can't get enough of it. They consume it, use it in their weapons and architecture. I've heard legends that they embalm their great heroes and stuff. I've even heard legends that they embalm their great heroes and stuff. And you make beer out of it. Exactly. Traditions of the sap masters reach back through countless generations. I am but one link in the chain of sap-thirsty Pandaren. Sometimes, however, I fear I may be the last link. Bruty calls. Why is that? The trees are dying. Kapari Vor is already dead, a victim of the Shah. Will never again produce amber. It barely even looks like a tree anymore. Few amber-producing trees that remain are either being over-harvested by the Mantid or in danger of succumbing to Shah. Either way, there no more Shah means no more sap masters. At which point I would have to return to my old job. Dumpling presser. So he comes from a line of sap masters, though he used to serve as a dumpling presser. How long have they been harvesting these trees? Because there's no Kapari. This tree looks a lot like the tree over there. And that tree. So aren't these all Kapari? Only the leaves are different. So aren't these all Kapari trees? Maybe they, don't those produce amber? Being fair, we've only seen amber in this zone. We can only harvest it as like an ore in this zone. Sorry, I'm just trying to make some space here. I have a bit of crud on the bed, so not literal, thank you very much. So I just have to make some space. But basically I'm wondering how the Mantid haven't killed them up to now, you know? The Mantid are probably very touchy about their zone's integrity and are hostile to everyone that isn't Mantid. So even outside of a swarm, coming into this place will be a death sentence. So I'm not sure how these people survived not getting mauled, if this is a long-term sort of thing. But if this is a long-term sort of thing, you think this will be a bit more built up. Let's do the quest and see what they say. It kind of feels like Blizzard doesn't really think this shit out. They're like, oh, we want to have a different different hub here for the Pandaria. Just do whatever. And they don't really think it through. But again, there is the whole size of zone kind of thing. Their antics here may have actually gone unnoticed for ages. And it's just, in tracking the corrupt Mantid movements, have they noticed them? But then again, with the corrupt Mantids leading attacks, across here, how have they, on the path, not been killed? I guess the Mantid are just tunnel visioning over that way. But again, it's like, okay, maybe there's a great compression. I think a lot of it does come down to the zone compression. This is the only way I can justify it. The zone compression. Like I was saying here with the Townlong Steps, this is actually greatly compressed. Like the Tauren here, whatever they're called, the Yogel, are meant to have been striding around here for 10,000 years, trapped here, moving from fire camp to fire camp to fire camp, harvesting the oil as they go. So if it's in this size of a zone, then they're not going to achieve anything. Actually, no, wait. These are. These do produce amber. So I guess they. He's come down here. So, okay. It'll be weird for there to be sap masters if the trees were only found in down here. But if there's trees up here, and some of them not held by manted, then it makes more sense. But this zone is much smaller than what we see. If this zone was the size of Pandaria here, then it makes more sense. Maybe it doesn't need to be quite that big, but whatever. So maybe there's a much greater distance between here and here. You know, in actuality, like you you drag it out, or I don't know. Like, remember I was saying this place is like much more estranged from over here. That's why they haven't gotten fucked up yet. Maybe it's the same with this. Maybe this is much more estranged. Yeah. Ah, fuck. I forgot to grab Dark Moon Fair thing. But maybe I'm just being too much of a pain in the ass about it, too fixated on it, Like looking for issues, looking for troubles. That's the issue. My head just fixates on things rapidly. I can't help it. Amber.
Hello.
Yeah? Eshelon. I'm gonna cleave him. The waters speak of your demise. God, you hit hard. Okay, I remember. I'm trying to remember how this guy goes. As long as I have my health done. As long as my health reasonably high, I'll be okay. That was lucky. Barely missed that hit though. That was dickish. He did that just before my stun came off cooldown. Eat shit and die. Fuck you. Really can't interrupt them. dodge. 60 dodge, Jesus. Alright.
I'm out of range. It's too far away. That's still recharged.
There we go. Ah,
I need to get closer.
god damn it.
I can't cast that. That spell is
Huh. They actually interrupted it. Better not bite me on the ass that I did it. It bit me on the ass.
I can't cast that.
You want to make sure he gets the cast off, then interrupt it. Otherwise, he will fuck you. Basically.
I'm out of range. I need to get closer.
There's a scatter shot to it, but it tends to follow you. Like it goes all over the place, but the focus of it tends to follow you. So it can have some unintended leading on you, so you have to watch yourself. But it's not too bad. Ooh, that was a nice drop. That was well worth. Big bag of lens. Gee, they aren't lying. I outright got I got 17 bolts of wind wool cloth. That's insane. 17 bolts. 19 heavy wind wool bandages. 17 Eternium thread. 16, 19, 1, 16, 4, 12, 8, 8. I got a ton of wool. Small bag of goods. 17 fool's cap, 17 ghost iron ore, 3 motes of harmony, and 21 gold. Respectable! Like, seriously. Scroll of Auspice.
That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharged. I can't cast that.
Ah. I thought the amber was going to be a treasure. But we have a reading. I was wondering if I was going to be able to sneak by. Okay, that's area to now. I thought it was just an attack on me.
Spell isn't ready. I can't cast it. That's still recharging.
Not sure what I have to do to get that quest. Okay. Hey folks, and here is another reading. Found in the Amber Vault, which is inside this tree here in northern Dread Wastes. I do not know its name, but it's by the Brew
I need to
Garden.
get closer. Spell isn't ready. It's too far away. Cast that.
Alright, we'll do that again in a moment. I've also lost in fucking interaction to most of my abilities. Annoying. Get that keyboard from over there. I kind of just jumped straight into playing without proper prep, such as grabbing the keyboard. It's such a difficult thing, you know, standing up and putting my arm out. Ugh. So, hey folks, and welcome to another reading found here in Northern Dread Wastes inside the Amber Vault, which is right by the Sunset Brew Garden. Is this Amber? Amber is the cornerstone of Manted society. They use this material in their architecture, their art, and their technology. The masters of sound, the Manted long ago, found a way to use amber to extend the range of their acoustic casting. In this way, they are able to communicate over vast distances. No army successfully marched on Manted lands undetected, and even lone travelers urged caution, as their movements are no doubt being watched the moment they venture beyond the wall. The Empress and her council of Calaxy safeguard the great trees of Townlong Steppes, the Capri they are called, as they're the only source of their precious amber. Legend has it that the Capri once flourished east of the wall, but the Mogul cut them all down in their never-ending war against the Mantic Swarm. There we go. Heart of the Mantic Swarm. Just a cute little nod to one of Blizzard's own titles.
Spell isn't ready. That spell isn't ready. Yeah. I can't cast that.
That guy respawns way too quick. Definitely gonna have to kill him for a quest. I would know if this was like post-WAD, as they put the little banners on enemies, which is very useful, because because it lets you know if an enemy is going to be important or not. Because it lets you know to hold back on fighting them till later, because well, if you don't have the quest to kill them yet, then you probably don't want to engage them.
That's still recharging. I can't cast that.
1, 2, 3.
That spell isn't ready. Yeah.
There we go. How am I doing rep-wise? Halfway through friendly. Only have to hit honored. I do want to do old scenarios. There's one here that I do want to do scenario-wise, explicitly. Huh. It's only showing me these ones now. That's random. This whole thing's been weird. Crypt of Forgotten Kings. Yeah, I haven't done most of these. Kind of forgot about them during Pandaria.
You are most welcome.
Oh, and the Juggernaut. Here, give me a sec. Whoops, one sec. Hey, folks, and I'm back. Sorry I missed the summons.
Friends, food. These are what matter most.
We can do business.
One, two. Alright.
May the red
So they want us to,
crane live forever.
so they want us to leave, do they? What's tough to request? I'm taking amber from one tree. I'm not going anywhere. A brew to make. If you help us, maybe we can come to a mutually beneficial agreement. I give them some brew, they stop trying to kill us. The Banted don't ever make my job easy, but now they've gone too far. We can fend off the occasional attack from Corvus, but now they've started to surround us. What's worse, they're draining the amber from our tree. This will not stand. We need that amber to make beer. Dug a burrow into the south side of the tree. Short-handed here. Should take care of it them for me? Fuck's sake. The heavens hum with war. Huh, that's something different.
That spell isn't ready. That's still recharging.
If I'm in combat, it won't pull me in. I'll go in manually. And I lost the loot.
What now?
I have no time to read it.
Dark Lady watch over you. Beware the living.
Which was a bucket, honestly. Oh, at least that's working again.
Another down. Do not relent. Keep firing. Let none escape. Let none escape. Another down. Do not relent.
This is reminding me of Scarlet Enclave. And I know the Scarlets have made a return in retail.
Who throws a bucket? Honestly, who does that?
Oop, whoops.
Did you hear something, lad? That spell isn't ready. I can't cast fresh meat for the dogs. That's still returned. Release the hound. I can't cast that. That spell isn't ready.
The Scarlets have come back in retail, but I'm not sure. Sorry, I'm tempted with focusing. But yeah.
Obey your master!
Oop, awesome.
So many hounds! We can't hold them back!
Aww.
Sacred.
Honestly, I'm kind of losing my train of thought there. Yeah, the Scarlet made a return in in retail, but they've for some reason joined forces with the Defias, the Defiance Remnants, and the Syndicate. And like people made a point of like, oh, that doesn't make sense, but you can wiggle it, say like, well, the Scarlets are really worn down, and
Another chance to test my might.
back in this place.
I found the way. That spell isn't ready. Yes, I can cast it.
Like the Scarlets are really worn down after all the years of getting their shit kicked in.
That's still recharged. That spell isn't ready. That's still recharged. That's still recharged.
Run.
I can't cast that. That's still recharged.
The defenders are naked? What?
Cast that. That's still recharged. I can't cast that. The spell isn't ready.
Whoops. Damn it.
Run.
They even call Blades alive, but that.
Bested by the likes of...
But yeah, Scarlets will come back in retail, but and some people were saying it didn't make sense for them to work with the Defias and the Syndicate, but to a extent it could work because like if they're tank ting pass. You know, if they're greatly diminished, they may be desperate for, you know, new forces.
That's still recharged. I can't cast it. That spell
You know, enough to actually, you know, ally with people outside of their thing. You know, an ally of convenience in that you know, the Syndicate want the, you know, alliance off their land. They want to reclaim their, like, the noble house. the the Defias want to, strike at Stormwind. Ostensible enemies of the Scarlet Crusade. So, yeah, basically it could make sense in that the Scarlet Crusade is greatly diminished, and they're willing to work with people that may not match with them ideologically, but have overlapping enemies. Both of them have a grudge against the Alliance, and both of them want, to... Ooh. Seems to get extra caught off that enemy. I'm losing my focus here. I can't focus on...
Everything must burn. None shall know the Scarlet Crusades. Shame. You too shall be charred. Flash!
I need to put those on my actual keybinds. We'll end the dungeon's done. I'll try and make my point. We talked about it before, really. But I feel I'll make a different point now. Codex of the Crusade. Tome contains a complete account of the Scarlet Crusade's history. Included are its statutes, bylaws, and rituals, as well as a complete roster of the organization's membership.
I'm listening.
Oh, I'll say that we're about halfway done, wouldn't you? Scarlet Hall's down, Scarlet Monster yet to go. Don't be surprised if I disappear. Let's get over there quickly.
Our time.
Book rate. You read that yourself, because she may disappear.
What would you ask?
Great start, Desik. It won't be long before the Scarlet Crusade is none but an ugly footnote in the annals of history.
Embrace the
Imperative to
shadow.
get my hands on the Codex. Ah, yes. But the Crusader rubs her hands together gleefully at the sight of the Codex. And now I have a checklist with the name of every Scarlet Crusader on it. You know, just in case any of them are unaccounted for. I don't like loose ends. Oh, that's int. So many go down there. Strength, stamina, haste, master.
Beware.
Okay. And she disappeared. Maybe it's because I turned in my quest. So, some people were saying that they disliked the, Scarlet. It does make sense for Scarlet Crusade to join up with the Defias and Syndicate, and to an extent it doesn't. They are zealots and whatnot, but this could be a different, like, this could be the Scarlets pushed to the point of working with people that, fall outside their normal purview. You know. Um, yeah, this is like. What am I trying to say? Basically, the Scarlet Crusade are greatly diminished. Their backs are to the wall. They want to resurge, but they're lacking, manpower. They lack just bodies. So they're working with the Defiance remnants and the diminished Syndicate to get more bodies on the field. Both of these groups do not match up with the Scarlet Crusade. None of these groups really get on together. But all three of the, sorry, the, none of the three groups really match up in goal together. But the Syndicate want to, they were founded and still maybe run by a fallen noble. They want to reclaim their, position and power. I think they're like the Aratis, fallen Arati house. So they want to get their, like, nobility back and, reclaim their territory. Which will have them at odds with the Alliance. The Defias, well, they're no longer driven by the Van Cleefs. Still probably have a grudge against Stormwind. Still have a grudge against the Alliance. So they can work together there. And the Eastern Kingdoms is the predominant power of is predominantly owned by the Alliance. So it does make sense. So the Scarlets would have a grudge there. They hate everyone outside their group. So they would have a mutual dislike for the Alliance. They've been attacked plenty by Alliance forces, presumably. But they obviously would have more of a hatred for the Scourge and the Undead, the Forsaken, as they do share Terraceful Glades with them. But they do. Fuck. My head's really scattered right now, so it's hard for me to make a cohesive point. Basically, simple point is the Defias don't like Stormwind. Don't like the Alliance. The Syndicate don't like the Alliance. The Scarlets don't like the Alliance. And I doubt any of these groups like the Horde. So these are bandit groups and religious extremists that don't get on with the powers that be. So while their ideologies or their goals do not match up, they have enough enemies to be able to work together to try and achieve their own goals. How well this would work is obviously up in the air. But in that kind of like frame of mind, I could see the Defias working with the other groups and the other groups working with each other. The Defias, I'm not really sure on modern Defias' motives. The old Defias had a grudge against Stormwind for being abused, but now they've all been pardoned. If there was any, you know, you know, stonemasons left over that just had a grudge over what happened, they were pardoned, but leaving only the criminal element behind. What the criminal element feels on Anne, I have no idea. They may just want to raid and pillage. Or maybe they have a grudge against Stormwind for not letting them raid and pillage, you know? The Syndicate, I'm not really sure if the nobles even still controlling them. I think they've been quested before to kill them. So, and it would be certainly a change of tact for the Scarlets to work with people outside of the Scarlet Crusade. Though you do see that back in SOD, them working with the Argent Dawn. Actually, you even see that in Classic, them working with Argent Dawn when Nax turned up. The SOD just emphasized that more. So, yeah. Basically, the point I'm getting at is, if Scarlet Crusade's diminished enough, they may be weak enough that to try and bulk themselves up, they'll work with factions that they otherwise wouldn't touch. The Defias and Syndicate. Both groups would be like worn down. There wouldn't be much to them, so they'll be willing to ally with other factions to try and strengthen themselves as well. So while none of the three groups really have a overlapping goal, they do have overlapping enemies, and they have overlapping weakness of needing more people. So you put the three together, and they'll bulk themselves up while not really being buddies. So it makes sense in that regard. Spun like that, framed like that, it makes sense. But it would also require a change in leadership for the Scarlets to be able to tolerate such a thing. Because, well, the Scarlets are the Scarlets. They are religious zealots. One thing to work with the Argent Dawn, another thing to work with the Defias. And I'm back. So yeah, that's basically my point. Is just simply if the three groups are diminished enough, they have enough overlapping enemies, and they have enough of an overlapping weakness of being diminished that they would work together to try and preserve their groups. And the Defias working with the Syndicate, working with the Scarlets to not fall apart. To bulk themselves up. Same with the Syndicate, same with the Scarlets. And if the Scarlets are, hard up enough, they may even be hoping to get converts out of the other groups. So, it's not like like look at the Scarlets we just cut our way through. They're all lunatics. So it's not like there will be they're that that picky about the people they have in their group, you know?
That's still rejoicing.
You know, like the Scarlets you fight, they're lunatics. So it's just like, expanded now, religious zealot. Yeah, sure, why not? I could see it. When horror comes arising, and the heavens hum with war, a great vessel of salvation must be broken from its core. The scroll continues on for several stanzas. For someone in Sunset Brew Garden will be able to decipher the cryptic message. Ah, damn. Someone bet me to it. Yeah.
I need to target something first.